All right, hello and welcome. We're going to be starting this painting today, or working on this painting today. I've been working on this painting for a couple days now, but we're going to spend some more time on it today. And we're probably going to do a different painting. But let me lock up my easel here. So this easel is a Meeden easel, a long lockable Meeden easel with wheels. And here's an interesting thought I had today. So I titled today's live stream, "Would You Still Love Me If I Was an AI?" Because AI is advancing so quickly. AI is advancing so fast. Like, there's tools that I don't have access to because they're like just so expensive that you can just like make copies of yourself and just like live stream. And I find that so fascinating. Like, it's not just like a it's not just a V stream or whatever, VTuber. You're literally like taking an entire human like identity and putting it into a live stream. It's so wild how far AI's gone. So there's a question for people here. Now, obviously, I have my first answer. Don't say stuff like that. AI. Dave says AI is evil. Uh-oh. AI is evil. Would you still love me if I was AI? Let's put that as a poll. Would you still love me if I was AI? Probably not Dave. Dave would think I'm evil. I'm gonna put that as a poll. Start poll. All right, we're gonna start that poll, and we're gonna get into this painting in just a moment here. Let's go. I do have to go onto this the tube. Get on the tube real quick and go. So according to Dave, I think we have our first response now. We already know who it answered, because probably Dave. Dave is probably the first person that, wow, we've got a bunch of votes. Nobody would love me if I was AI. Is that the case? Would nobody love me if I was AI? I guess not. But the thing is if I was AI, I wouldn't need love, right? AI doesn't need love. Robots don't need love. Humans need love. Humanity needs love. So I guess the joke's on you. Whether you love me or not, it wouldn't matter if I was AI. So ha ha. Joke's on you. All right, let's get serious. Let's start painting. I'm gonna start spraying. So I have this mixture of vinegar and orange peel, and I keep some around to spray around me because I don't like my cats coming around when I paint. I try to keep them as far away from me as possible. So I spray this around, and they don't like the smell, but it's also, it's not toxic. There's nothing, that would necessarily be bad for them, and it's a cleaning agent. You're trying to keep your apartment clean and everything. It's good, and it's a good use of vinegar. Like, I have this huge tub of vinegar that I pretty much never use. I don't remember why I bought it, but anyway, I think we're at a good point in this painting where I feel good about it, and it's a little bit of a mess, but it feels like a real complicated cloud scene. So if this was AI, Sketches would not watch it. Makes sense, perfect. But here's the question: if you didn't watch it, don't you think there would possibly be someone so fascinated that an AI is this interactive, this good, doing a painting? Maybe they could even do it for you live. I don't know. I mean, maybe not you. And by the way, as a painter, I am totally for the humanities, of course, right? The whole idea of humanity and everything. But it does make me wonder, those that are less into the humanities, right? Those that are like super obsessed with AI, would they watch somebody who's literally just fake? Would they watch an AI that was just fake painting something? That would be interesting. Puddinhead? Who's Puddinhead? Who you calling a Puddinhead? Who do you think you're talking to? Calling Puddinhead. What's that even mean? Who you calling a Puddinhead? You're a Puddinhead. But like, here's the fascinating thing about if I was painting and I was an AI, is that like AI could make anything, right? Like they could probably make anything that they're asked to make. And with this painting, I kind of like where it's at. I like, how the water feels pretty loose. I like how this water feels really loose around here. And we're gonna grab the Mark Maggiore small brush here. So this is a brush from Mark Maggiore, one of the greatest cloud painters of our time. Cloud and Western landscape. So I'm saying cloud jokingly because his clouds are just so amazing, but he really is known for his beautiful, beautiful Western landscapes, Western scenes. And thank you, Manga Ed. So, oh, you know what I should have made? Promote yourself. Let me start a poll. Let me start a Q&A. Let me start a Q&A. And I'm going to ask a question. Let me ask a question. Will you promote your art? That's the message of the day. Will you promote your art? If yes, plug yourself. Done. Let's put this poll up here in the top right. Put that little plug up there. And let's see. Nope. I can't see my poll. All right, never mind. I'm gonna just keep this. We'll do that another day. But let's get painting. So what was I saying? Oh yeah, I'm using Mark Maggiore's brush. So Mark Maggiore, probably one of the greatest Western landscape painting artists of our time, who's still alive, and he does some of the most beautiful clouds you will ever see. So Manga Ed says he draws, can't paint, but hey, you got pencil, ink, and you know what? Maybe you don't need to paint, right? Maybe you don't need to paint. Do you want to paint? That's the real question. Do you even want to paint? Some people, I think get into things, but they don't really have the desire, they don't really have the need to do something. And that's okay, right? It's okay to not need something unless you actually need it. So I'm going to take some of these darker blues and we're just going to blend right into here. Well, that's a black. We don't want black. We want like a dark navy blue here. So Manga Ed, obviously I'm guessing Manga Ed draws manga, which is great, fantastic. Great to have some other artists. Feel free to plug your channel, your Instagram if you're over the age of 18. I'll even show everybody your channel. If you are over the age of 18, you say you're over the age of 18, you don't have to tell me your age, but if you say that you're over the age of 18, I will go ahead and plug your channel on this live stream for the entire universe to see, because the entire universe can potentially watch this live stream. Isn't that fascinating? That fascinates me to no end. Like, obviously the entire world, right? The entire planet, but the fact is, any alien or alternative being living out in our universe, that if they have access to internet, or, like, you know, they have access to our streaming ecosystem, they can watch this live stream. That's just fascinating to me. Maybe nobody else, but it is fascinating to me. And I got this cloud painting going on. It's not as good as Mark Maggiore, but I think it's got a personality. It's got a style, a design. You know, never thought of that. I guess you don't want to. But you do have much respect for painters. You love the seascape I'm doing. Sub, hey, thanks so much, Manga Ed. Yeah, feel free to plug your work anytime. You come in here anytime, plug your channel. Sometimes I have a lot of viewers. Sometimes I don't have a lot of viewers. Sometimes, we reach hundreds. Sometimes we reach thousands. And sometimes we reach less than 100. So it all depends. But right now we were working on this seascape here, and I at first when I was looking at this seascape, I was thinking it doesn't, the clouds don't look like the clouds that I see in some of these other artists' paintings. I'm comparing myself to other people or other artists, and they always typically, I think, if I'm gonna get critical here, I think what happens is a lot of people paint clouds the same. It's that big, beautiful, smoky cloud. And when I'm comparing myself to them, I'm like, oh wow, like their clouds are so beautiful, my clouds are not, right? And it's so easy to get into this. But now as I look at mine, I'm like, yeah, my clouds have a charm. My style, my landscape has a charm. There's all these different colors, and it's vibrant, and it looks like a complicated landscape scene, So I'm quite happy with how this is turning out, is what I'm trying to say. Over the night, I wasn't as happy, but I think we were reaching a point where this is actually starting to build its own charm. You're starting to really allowing a style or something different to shine through. I think cloud painting is really popular now. It's funny because I'll see like one artist do something, and especially if they're an artist that's like represented by a gallery, and then I'll start to get more of the same artists who seem to be painting clouds like more recently in the past few months on their like Instagram pages. And it just makes me wonder if some of those artists only started painting clouds because they thought they would sell. I think there's a method to painting clouds the right way, and painting clouds in a beautiful way. But I like my clouds. I think my clouds are looking pretty good. This is realistic, I guess. I never thought of that. Yeah. Sometimes we got to be our own best cheerleaders, people. Sometimes you have to be your own best cheerleader when no one else is cheering for you. And I will say that I am fortunate enough to have some people cheering for me. But, more than anything, I think it's important to like your own work, right? So it's easy. Being critical is easy. being judgmental of your own artwork, that's easy, right? But like trying to find your own strengths, looking into your artwork for better or worse, for the good or bad, and then trying to find the strengths, that's the hard part. We've really been fed this idea in life that you're not allowed to, like, you have to be humble, but like some people take humble to mean like you're not allowed to like say anything positive about yourself, right? I think we've been trained to do that you're not allowed to say anything positive to yourself about yourself. You're not allowed to like, you know, promote yourself. But I disagree with all that. I think people should totally promote themselves. And I'm not saying in like inappropriate times, like, don't go, to somebody's funeral and everybody's sad and try to like, tell them promote your artwork, like be appropriate. Of course, there's appropriate times. But yeah, artists should promote themselves. Should always be promoting. Artists should always be promoting. So here we go. I'm trying to find a good toned down yellow smoky ochre, smoky yellow. I'm trying to find a good smoky yellow here to create some cloud wisps. I want to create some cloud wisps here. Some cloud wisps, some little wispy clouds here. Let's go wispy cloud there. And then we're going to come down. Let's see if I can add some more wispy clouds there here. And some wispy clouds right there. Some cloud work right there. Let's bring some of these wispy clouds over the pink here. And then let's come down here. This one already has some wispy cloudness. And then let's find a section right here where we're gonna have, here we go. This is gonna be our wispy cloud area. And here we go. Let's keep building this color. I actually like this color. I'm just building up some little wispy clouds into our space here. We're going to go down here and then build up some wispy cloud space right here. Maybe form like that. And here we go. Just go give it a wisp. A wisp. Willow the wisp. Let's maybe find some more white. Let's find some more areas of white here. Let's go bring this down. Just keep it nice and wispy. By wispy, what is it? What does wispy mean? Alexa, what is the definition of wispy?
As a noun, wispy is usually defined as an alcoholic.
No, Alexa, what is the definition of wispy? W-H-I-S-P, W-I-S-P-Y.
From thesaurus.net. Wispy is an adjective used to describe a thin and delicate appearance, typically referring to hair or fibers.
Alright, so that's what I mean by wispy. I mean, like, just like this delicate look, not like overly, I'm just being pretty loose with this brush and not overlaying, spending too much, being too overly detailed, just wispy. I would say my definition of wispy for this, in this context, yes, like strands of hair, but also maybe like more ethereal, like more smoky, I guess. Trying to keep the smokiness of our landscape. And I like where it's at. I wasn't sure at first, but I think the only reason why I wasn't sure at first is because I was initially trying to compare my own possible style with what I think someone else would make, and that's never really good for anybody. Because not only do you not come up with anything new, or different. But, you know, maybe you don't end up finding your own strength or your own way of communicating a visual idea. That's not necessarily a bad thing, right? Like throughout history, we've all gone to schools and had our mentors and found certain ideas that appealed to us that we wanted to learn. And then you can find you find a style along the way, some methods along the way. Grab this. We'll keep going along with this color here. We're just gonna go. Yo, Monic Kathy, what's up? Comment la peinture? Francois, what's up, Francois? Bonjour. Un peinture, oui. C'est une peinture de la sœur de Vermont, Lake de Champlain. En la Vermont, États-Unis. Oui. Okay. There's my limits of French. I had this one live stream where I just like said a bunch of random words in different languages and try to piece them together. That was amusing. Because listening to someone just try to like say random words and piece sentences together, isn't that hilarious? Like, isn't it hilarious to listen to? I'm not saying like to mock a language, right? That's not what I'm saying, but like to hear someone who doesn't know what they're saying, or maybe they do know what they're saying because that's the only thing that they're saying is stuff that they know, and to like hear them just say the random words and just like it ends up being gibberish. So let's try to find some blue highlights in our sky here. We'll try to find some of these highlights. Let's get some blue highlight. We get a little bit in here. Let's go like that. Do this piece like that. And there's a little separation. Oh yeah, there's a little separation in here that I've outlined. So we got that. We got that. Cathy, comment le fabriquer? What is the material? Oil? Le oil? Le oil? The oil? I don't know if that's that's how you say it. How are you making it? Say oil. Say oil. All right, come in here. Let's like add some design. You know, if this could become a thing, I could totally see myself making some interesting landscape painting, you know, seascape paintings. If I actually had a couple shows that I could be in for these, I would totally do it. I would totally make more of this style. It's actually kind of fun, you know. It's fun when I'm when I've taken away the pressure of like having to know how like some of these other artists are making their beautiful, beautiful cloud paintings that look even more nice than an actual real life cloud. And there's some areas that need some work. I think this area is okay. Let's go into here and let's go pop a couple of this, some of this color into here. Let's make this, let's try to find a good purple here. I want to find a light purple. Grab a little bit of red. Let me see. This would be a little bit. This is definitely a purple. What can I use this purple? Go into here. We'll probably bring a little bit into here. Let's go. I think at some point there's just a little bit too much going on now, but I like this painting. Let's see how much further we could take this. Just a little bit further, and then I'm gonna start a new one later today. We're gonna start something different. Just gonna keep painting forever and ever and ever and ever. Till the dawn of time, till time resets. I had this interesting dream that about the world, and it was that the idea is the world never actually ends; it just resets. At a certain point, eventually, life just resets itself, and we all just start over. But it was also kind of a nightmare because that means that everything that's ever happened, good and bad, has to happen all over again. I mean, of course, without our knowledge, but very, very sci-fi. I happen to like sci-fi, for anyone who hasn't noticed. Probably one of my favorite film genres. If I could act in a movie or TV show, I would totally want to be in a sci-fi movie. Just in case anyone's wondering. Grab a little bit of black here. Maybe go like this. This little boat right there, popping up into the sky. If I had a time machine, who would I go back and meet or visit? If I had a time machine, who would I go back to meet or visit? Can I only visit one person, or can I visit like lots and lots of people? If I only had to pick one person, I don't know. Who would I pick? I would pick. That is a good question. Who would I pick? I don't know. I wanted my initial response goes to like some business mogul, like Henry Ford, or or you know, John D. Rockefeller or someone like that. That's my like gut instinct. But as I start to think about it, I'm like, that's probably not that interesting. Maybe Leonardo da Vinci would be interesting. Leonardo da Vinci would be pretty cool to go back in time and have a chat with. Da Vinci. Yeah, Da Vinci. There's my answer. I go meet with Da Vinci. Leonardo da Vinci. Or maybe Michelangelo while he's painting the Sistine Chapel. Or if I had a way of communicating, like the first guy who put his like who put his handprint on the what do you call it? The cave handprint guy. Like he's one of the first artists to ever have his work recognized throughout all of time. And you know, it makes me wonder, like, did he have that in mind? Did he know that his handprint was going to become an iconic masterpiece? Did he know that? That his handprint would last throughout time, that people would be talking about it because of what it meant for humanity? Like, was he able to communicate, or was he or she able to communicate, or was that just how they knew how to communicate? Was, hey, I'm put my hand here, so where my hand goes. That'd be an interesting fella to get to know. So yeah, there's some of my answers. Papa and Ash. What is Papa and Ash? You mean like your parents? Like Papa, or what like what do you mean by this? Are you asking like, would I save my own, like a family member from something? Or you know what? I think I've reached a point in this painting where I'm not gonna do much more detail. I'm not gonna like, you know, do ultra detailed clouds. So I'm trying to think what other minor things I might actually do before we move on to our next painting, which I think we're gonna do here in just a moment. But before we do that, let's go see where else I can add in this color. I can, you know, bring some of this across here. So we're gonna go across. All right, so no response from Dave about who Ash and Papa are. But let's keep going here. We're gonna go clean off this brush. We're gonna start our next painting now. I went through my phone. Went through a bunch of reference images. I think one painting I'm gonna do right now. I'm gonna do a paint over. We can find a good All right, let's paint over this ugly thing. Tell me about all those bruises. Yes, all the bruises. Bruises. So funny thing about the bruises, I'm getting beat up. No, just kidding. I highly recommend anyone take a martial arts activity. So these bruises are coming from Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. So I've been a white belt for I've done 5 days as a white belt. Yes, progress. 5 days as a white belt in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. So basically, that just means that I've been choked out by every single person in the classroom at least once. All right, let's take a photo of this. I'm gonna call this piece not complete, but almost there. Gotta clean my lens. Is my lens not clean? But yes, I believe all adults should partake in martial arts of some sort. I'm going to swap out this painting, put this somewhere where it could go dry. I'm going to start painting over this baby. Oh shoot, I forgot my signature. How do I forget that? Let's bring this back. So Dave, what's going on with you, dude? What is on your mind, creatively speaking? What art do you want to make? Where do you want to go? What is your goal with checking out this live stream? What entertainment value do you feel I provide for you? Or is it inspirational value? So I'm gonna go throw a signature right here. All right. Is jujitsu the equivalent to the 90s? You fell down the stairs. I have no clue what you're talking about. But it took stuck perpetual state of problems. All right. Great. Awesome. Well, it sounds like you've had some it's good that you have people that you want to go visit or save or have one last conversation with. And thank you for sharing all that. I know it probably requires a level of vulnerability, self. We're going to pull up a new reference here. So jiu-jitsu equivalent, yeah, I don't know what you're talking about falling downstairs. I don't really know that that context or that reference. So you can tell that this is a much smaller canvas that I'm painting over. Mainly because it is obvious that it's smaller. Obvious. Here we go, let's see. A little bit more like that. Probably bring this in a little more, right? Let's see. Let's roll it closer. Let's see, right here. You know, it's funny, now that I'm looking at this painting, I kind of like it and I don't want to paint over it. But you know what, let's do it. Let's do it. We're going to paint over it because we can. So jiu-jitsu, I can't really. It's a grappling sport. Jiu-jitsu is a grappling martial art. That's the best way I can explain it. But that's what there's some things that are best explained through seeing it, and some things that are better explained through auditory. But yeah, I mean, Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, there's submissions, you like choke people out, there's like, you locks where you like lock their body parts in certain positions and it causes a lot of pain. And there's different types of jiu-jitsu, where there's gi jiu-jitsu, where you wear like a special outfit called a gi, and then there's no gi, where you wear no gi. Okay, so right now let's go bring this photo up. Do this max screen here. All right. So let's start this painting. I'm going to start with let me bring this down. So this is a smaller painting. That's the problem with this one canvas, this easel, this Meeden easel, is that if you have anything smaller than like, if you paint small usually, if you're like, especially if you're starting out, or usually paint pretty small, this easel is going to feel like overkill. Because you're going to have so much easel and you're not even like using it. So I definitely recommend this easel because I love it. It's great. You can fit bigger canvases. But really only if you've gone beyond like, I guess this is probably a 16 by 20 inch easel. So once you start moving into like the 2 foot canvas is when you really should get an easel like this. Because otherwise it's just like, it just doesn't look right. It's kind of like weird. Because let me see, I got some canvases right here. You know, of course you could do whatever you want, and you should always like plan for the long term, right? Try to get the best easel you can for what you plan to do in however many years. But look at this, right? Like if I just put this easel here, if I just put, or this canvas, if I was to just put this canvas here, like this would be way overkill, you know? But what is good is that you could fit multiple canvases on one easel. That actually might be a benefit. That could be a good benefit. You know, I could fit half one here and then another one next to it. Or, you know, I could have like 5 of these just sitting here drying. So that could be a benefit as well, even if you're not maximizing the full easel. Hey, Sprout. Sprout, what's up? You want to go see the world? What's going on, huh? Just checking out, dude. All right, so anyway, let's pop this down. It's a great, amazing easel. Love this easel. I used to use this one. It's still right next to me. I still use it, but I only use this exclusively for plein air painting now. This is a traditional French easel with storage inside. It has legs which you can pull out. So that's the classic easel that I was using. I used that for like a couple years, a few years. And now we're on to different things. So let's go ahead and let's do a loose sketch here. Let's start with a nice loose sketch using some mineral spirits and red, pink mineral spirits. And I just want to do a loose sketch here. So let's see. We're going to come right here. We're going to go top of the head right here. I gotta figure out like, let's see, top of the head to the chin is there. That's gonna be bigger. Let me figure out some proportions first. Let's see. And the length of the head. about a little bit less than the full width of the one. And a half. So the shoulder should be 1.5 times the head. So if the head's going to be down here, if the shoulders are going to end right around here, I want the eyes to pretty much be like right around here. Just really want to figure out proportions first before I dive into this. Oh, is the head really that much bigger, that much smaller? Yeah, it's about 1.5 times. So the head has to be, whatever goes here has to be wider than the head. So let's just mark off this section right here. And then let's just start developing from this area here. And we're gonna mark off this section right here. Go ahead and start sketching this out. Why am I using red? It's just, I have a lot of red. I don't want to let it go to waste. I think it should be on the canvas and not in the garbage can. So we're going to use red. We're going to use up this red here. So let's see, this shoulder length. So let's use this head length here, or this shoulder length. Let's use the full shoulder length here. We're using proportions to measure. So I'm doing the thumb on stick method. I don't know if that's the actual name, but usually what you do is all you need to do is you take your pencil, your pen, your stick, your object, your what is this called? A paintbrush. Your paintbrush. You stick your arm all the way out and you lock your elbows. The most important thing is locking your elbows, right? You gotta lock your elbows, because if you don't lock your elbows, you know, you're gonna start changing the distance, and it's gonna change the actual proportions. So if you can lock your elbows, you can pretty much get, you know, as accurate and consistent of a view as you possibly can without actually measuring it out yourself. So that's the goal of the whole locking elbows. And all you do is you just stand in one place, you close one eye, I guess, and you just measure the proportions. So that's what I'm doing. I'm just checking the proportions, and I want to compare them on the shoulders here. So that's the full length. So if the full length on the shoulders should be that, then that should be like 1/3. Like 1/4. So whatever 1/4 of this side should be is how high this piece should be. So whatever 1/4 of this, so half would be here and 1/4 should be there. So this length should only be about 1/4 length. And then, you know, it can't go a little further because it's just the bottom of the bust. But we're gonna go in. And then we have that. So we're gonna go in on this. And now same thing on the other side. I'm gonna bring this in around. And let's go let's go right here. Let's see how far in. So one of the sides of the face is going to go straight down from here. So where is that? That's about 1/3. Is that about 1/3? Let's see how many is 1, 2, a little bit less than 1/3. So we're gonna trying to find a proportion of the body here. So find some proportion. Just finding some body proportions. Half would be about right there. So a little bit more than halfway. So we go half. See, half of that is like right there. It's going to come past the half. So 3/4 past the halfway point. So I'm thinking 3/4 past the halfway point would be like, that'd be half. So like right here. So this is where we're going to start our t-shirt. We're going to bring this down here. Not getting overly detailed, just sketching out a couple lines, just marking where things are going to go. And then right here, this will come in a bit. We're going to come right here. So come up and around. And then we're going to bring a shirt here, another shirt here, and then another other outfit is going to come like this. Let's go a bit more. All right, so now that we've got this, let's go right here. Let's start adding some wrinkles. So this chin is going to come right below the shoulder. Come around here, bring that up. I'm just going through my head of like, you know, what this is supposed to look like. So I'm just planning, right? I'm just talking to myself, thinking, okay, what's this proportion? What's this supposed to look like? What is this size in relation to that area? How does this hair work here? What is this? What am I looking at right here? So these are just all the thoughts that are going through my head as I'm trying to sketch this all out. Locked and loaded. Yes, locked and loaded. And it's just a really loose drawing. We're not, you know, getting too wild and crazy with this sketch right now. By wild and crazy, I mean, you know, we're not going to go overboard with getting too detailed. Just really capturing some of the main details. So right here, this chin should be about the halfway point. Yeah, that's about the halfway point. So where this chin comes up should be about the halfway point. So I'm thinking, is that right? Yep, that's about right. So we're going to come down with this. And, you know, some people might recommend like actually measuring it out, getting more specific. But I don't. I mean, it's not that I don't recommend it. It's just that's not what I do. So just sharing there. It's going to be a big chunk of hair right here. So we're going to come up. We need to leave some space. Bring the neck down, like right there. Let's go like this. There's a lot of hair here, a lot of bearded material. Honestly, this probably needs to come in even a bit more. All right, let's find this shape of his face here. So right above this beard's going to come up about right here. All right, let's see. How big is that beard? Let's compare our beard to another proportion right now. We're going to go the beard to the lip. The beard to the lip should be this shoulder to the corner. The beard to the lip should be shorter than this shoulder to the corner. So if I'm thinking, you know, whatever this is, it needs to be like right there. So that, yeah, that's actually a good place. This is a good place to mark our lip. And then the lip is going to take the full roundness. If we come across here, let's actually bring a lip here, and we're going to go. It's at a bit of an angle, just the ever so subtlest angle here. Let's keep this going. So the beard, I'm going to come down with the beard a little bit, just mark out where the beard goes. We're going to have a mustache for the nose. So let's see how much space is in that mustache. The mustache is going to have this width here. And this is where it helps to paint a lot, is particularly like right now. Oh wait, no, this is where the beginning of the mouth opens. This is where the mouth, second part of the mouth opens. And then we get extra space above. And this is where it helps to know yourself when it comes to drawing. Is I know that I typically like leave a little too much space, or don't have enough, too much space where the mouth and meets the nose. I forget what that area is called, but if I know I usually do that, I'm gonna adjust and adapt, right? I will adjust and adapt. Otherwise, you're just making the same mistakes over and over. Unless that becomes part of your style, which it probably is not. Some of the time, most of the time. Let's see how big the nose should be compared to our chin here. So our chin should be about the size of the nose, the length of this area right here. So that nose should be pretty big. Pretty long nose. So we're going to bring this up just a bit more. This nose, I'm trying to think, should this nose pass the lip? It shouldn't pass the lip. It should be pretty straight, a little bit more straight up. Get the thing right here. Let's see. Maybe a little higher. Let's keep this going. Like this is already getting bigger than the shoulders. Why is the head already looking bigger than the shoulders? Let me see. I went wrong somewhere. Yo, Dmitry Varudin. Or is that Sharudin? Sharudin. All right, so this head is already getting much bigger than the body. Like I already see this. You can already see this. So how did we get to that point? How did we get to this position where let's go like right here, and then we're just going to mark off the forehead. It's just a little bit longer than the nose. Yeah, I don't know. That should be like that. It should be about this length. So if I think the head should be about that length. Head should end right about here. So there's some things that I have a little wrong as far as the overall design go. Let's just go ahead and start sketching it out a bit further. And let's see. Oops, there's a lot of paint there. Nose, mark the top of the nose right here. Chin is going to have some extra hair, but the chin is really like right down here actually. I'm going to go right down there. This nose. This forehead should be right around there. Okay, that's going to come around. Let's go like this. And this hair is going to come to the side. Let's get this chin hair right here. It's going to come up. Let me see. Let me figure out where his ear is going to go. Now the head looks a little too thin, but it's alright, we'll figure it out. Where the eye creases, right here. Another eye crease right in here. Alright, let's clean off this. Let me see. Get a line right there. Alright, let's clean off this brush. Let's grab We're gonna be using our filbert brush for this. Bobo Go. You're watching Birdie? What do you mean, Birdie? Is that like a movie? Let's just go bring this in. Wonder who the model for this figure that I'm about to paint was. So obviously this is a paint over. What's up, Sprout? Big bud. You're a big guy. Hmm? this a nice flat color. The neck should go to the side of the face right here, so the neck should come right around there. Gotta find a little more red. We're gonna get some red into our shadows here. Let's get red. Some dark, deeper reds into there. Maybe red to come around from this shoulder right here. And a nice little red shadow. It'll come around. No, this should be up a little bit higher, huh? We're gonna bring some red right into here. Let's get some darker reds. We're going to do a darker red by adding ultramarine blue. So let's actually create a nice dark red by adding ultramarine blue for a shadow. Almost like a purple now. Let's go, we're going to come right into the mouth. That didn't necessarily sound right, but you get what I mean, right? We're gonna go right into the mouth. Go right into the mouth here. And we're gonna go like this. And the shadow right in here. Hey, thou returns.
Hi.
Thou hath returned from thy gym.
Hi.
Yeah,
Hey, Pookie.
you're her favorite cat.
You glad to see me too? Who cares?
All right, here we go. We're gonna build this up. Just building up these colors. Let's see. Let's get some dramatic shadow into this. Some of these dark, dramatic shadow areas. Maybe darken this area just a bit more here. We're gonna go.
Ooh. It's a new one.
It's a new one.
Is that somebody I know?
Nope.
Oh.
I don't think so. Do you know who Belisarius is?
No.
Then you probably don't know who he is.
Yeah. It's kind of cool. I like it.
I think according to myth, he's a guy who like he was blind and then he saved some kid or something.
Belisarius?
Yeah. Alexa, what is the story of Belisarius?
Belisarius was born in Saparababania.
That's it. Okay.
Alexa, what did Belisarius do?
From humusgates.com, Belisarius, despite having extremely limited forces and means at his disposal, successfully retook North Africa, Sicily, and Naples for the empire.
He was a soldier.
I don't really know. Soldier, general, something. One of the two. One of the
Hi.
three.
My goodness. So cute. Hi.
It's something worthwhile,
Hello, tiny ones.
I think.
Hello, Sunbird. Hi. Are you good? You want some more snacks? Oh, look who's under here. Ha!
Is that where Scout hangs out?
Yeah, I'm reaching for the bird food.
Is that Scout's? Scout though?
Yeah.
So that's where he hangs out all the time.
Yeah, you fooled us.
Government name. Government would still love me if I was AI. Great. Wonderful. Birdie is songstress. Yes, our birdie is a songstress. And let's get this ear.
is. Hi. Hello. Okay. Don't get all upset with me. The bird likes to peck me for doing anything.
Yep. That's a bird. That's our bird.
Okay.
You can thank the previous owners.
Right.
People from who we rescued from. All right.
Best.
So we're going into this. Let's go with a little bit more. Let's go with some black. Let's bring some black into this here.
Okay.
Grab a big chunk of our yellow ochre. This is just a muddy color now. That's okay. We're getting some spreading. We are spreading right now, spreading our paint. And you know what? It's time for a different brush. This brush has served its purpose. If I continue too long with this big brush, I could tell. No, I could add a little bit more. No, don't mess around too much. Gotta move on from the big brush here. So what character is this? Oh yeah, I think we already mentioned on the live stream that this is Belisarius, or this will be a bust of Belisarius by John Baptiste Stouff, painted between the, or done between the 1700s and 1800s. So we are painting busts. Try to find another brush that I could use for this. Let's go with this one. Well, let's go with one of our bigger brushy, or what? Let's see, what do we do? All right, let's get some of our white here. Come up. Still figuring out the main design of our figure. Let's go. Let's tighten up the forehead here. I'm gonna get this forehead just right. Definitely, this area needs to be can totally be defined with this single color here. And then right here, we're gonna come down at an angle. Get this nose right there. And then let's see, we're gonna come around. One thing I find fun about painting on top of a previous painting, especially one as crazy as this, is the challenge of having to like look past everything and not get totally confused. I know it's like a weird like challenge to yourself. Like, why would you make things harder? But I don't know. I just like the idea of like painting over old pieces, previous pieces that are no longer as relevant to me. Okay. What?
I'm looking at the picture.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's Belisarius.
Okay.
King Belisarius.
Right.
And let's go like this. I'm gonna bring this white into right here.
Very nice. Thank you. Very far. Thank you. Thank you for being nice. It's very sweet.
We should clean off this brush here. Now let's go grab this white again. Let's grab more of this white here. this pink white color. And we're going to go right under the nose and do the stash here.
Ouch. Ow.
And here we go. What?
The slat,
It fell into a slat?
the window slat.
Yeah, they do that. They do that a lot. They do that a lot. In case you haven't noticed.
Yeah, I know. You just put it up so that you can see. And that's it.
We're gonna come around, and then we're just gonna go down, go like that. And you know what? We can actually bring a little bit of shadow right into here. We're gonna bring the shadow zone and start to bring these colors around. Alright, let's grab this red purple color. I want to make it a little bit brighter though. It's a little bit too dark. A little bit too much shadow here. Like a nice solid red. Deep, solid deep red. That's what we're going for. We're gonna come down into this mustache. So that's the top of the lip right there, right? Yeah. Okay, so we're gonna come down to this mustache right here. And let's go bring this shadow right here. And and bring some of the shadow. And I feel like once I tighten up this place, I think we'll have a lot of detail settled. A lot of good detail from which to work. Oh, whoops, this is way off. This needs to come around the mouth like that. Around the mouth, like so. And now let's grab some more white. We're gonna keep using the rest of our Daler-Rowney. I use so much white, people. There's so much white here. All right, Daler-Rowney Georgian oil. I use so much white. That's why. That's one of the books that's on this represented on this live stream, is the Georgian oil white, because it comes in packs of 2. It's rare to find. I mean, whites should always come in bigger packs, because I can't imagine how any artist could possibly not use lots of white. Like the fact that there's any company that sells tubes of white that are tiny or just standard 37 milliliter size. I just can't believe that there's any company that sells white of this size, because I mean, I'm sure every company knows that white's probably the most. I feel like if they had the data, they would find out that, yeah, white is probably the most highly sold color or pigment. I could be wrong. I don't have the data, but I mean, or maybe I'm just unique in that I use so much white. I don't think I am. But if I am, then I'm wrong. But if I'm not, then I can't imagine why any company would sell white, the color white, in anything less than a 150 milliliter tube. It just makes no sense. I mean, it makes sense, but not really. Like, I can figure out why I might do that, but just to me, it's just ridiculous. Why any company would try to sell these smaller tubes of white. All right, so I'm losing a lot of my my kittens are all starting to come around here. I gotta get my vinegar spray. Where you at? Go away, kitten. Go away.
Here. I'm here.
I'm not. I'm spraying it. It's just vinegar.
Vinegar could sting his eyes.
Right, but I'm not spraying it on him. I'm spraying it around.
All right.
Making sure if he gets close, I start spraying it, and then they don't get as close. So here we go. We're getting closer to some. We're getting pretty close here. We're getting some really good details right now, which is fantastic. When certain details start to come into play, you really start to get a feel for how the painting is going to turn out. So just easier. Just like when things start to come together, that's like some of the most exciting parts of a painting. You got the ugly phase, right? You got to get through that. Maybe not always. Some artists don't have an ugly phase. Some artists are just so dang good that everything that they're doing ends up being like, whoa, you could just stop right there and that's like a masterpiece, right? There's some artists that are like that, but I typically have an ugly phase in my paintings. You know, a phase of my painting where things just, you know, aren't looking right. Let's try to find some shapes here. We're gonna come around like this. There we go. There's another piece, and we're gonna come around with this piece. This second one is gonna go into his beard right here. Let's go bring this facial hair down on the side here. How do I work this space here? And again, I think I've painted the area between the mouth and the nose a little too wide. How do I always make that mistake? How do I always make that dang mistake? Get it?
Hey, what's up?
Well, this can actually be a little wider, so maybe I'm okay. Maybe I'm okay here.
So cute. Yeah.
But I will say that despite everything, he looks pretty scary, huh? This mouth is not at the right angle. This mouth needs to be like, maybe the nose needs to be a little bit longer, a little bit thicker. Let's try to find that. Let's try to find the noses. Let's try to find this nose, make it a little bit thicker here. So we're gonna start like right here with slightly above the eyes. I'm gonna come down and maybe end right there. This nose should end right about here. You know, we're giving a little bit more length to the nose. It's this shadow. Yo, hey, what's up, Omi? So, Kat, by the way, can't the camera can see you. Just letting you know. It's fine. I'm just, huh?
Gotta sit. Hey, big cat.
I can see right now. This ear needs to be brought a little higher. It's actually pretty horrific looking, huh? What is this guy? What's going on? Yeah, you can totally be seen, Kat, just letting you know. Which reminds me, I need a lunch break soon. Alright, so let's go this. We're gonna clean this off. Looks like a bust made out of clay. Yeah, kind of is. It's based on a bust made out of clay. Right, let's go tighten up some of these highlights here. We're gonna go bring this down. Idealized version of me when I'm old. Something like that. Sure. Why not? Why not be an idealized version of myself when I get old? But this is a mistake that never ceases to amaze me. Is somehow I always put the mouth too far away from the nose. Even though I was saying to myself that I constantly make that mistake and it's good to know yourself when you paint, I still made that mistake somehow.
Her, didn't do that. She swatted at the kitten for coming on my lap, and she was sitting right next to me. Like that.
All right. Alrighty then. So did I finish the seascape? Oh, yes and no. So I have the seascape here. It's like I would be comfortable calling it finished. You know, I'm not I just don't see myself pushing it that much further. But you never know. I might still possibly one day go back over it, maybe paint over it. I don't know. We'll see. The world is my oyster. My oyster, not your oyster, my oyster. Just kidding. It's all of our oysters, right? Everybody's got an oyster. You've got an oyster. I've got an oyster. Space, get the mustache. Mouth. What's going on with you? Is this Socrates? No, this is the bust of Belisarius by Jean-Baptiste Stauff from the 1800s. So I don't actually know who that is, but yeah, we're doing this bust based on what he gave us. So. But you went to art school. Did you? I think I pulled you up on LinkedIn. You went to art school. Did you have to do a lot of, or I think you went to some sort of design program? Did you have to do a lot of busts, or is it something else that they made you do? They make you go the good old traditional way of painting from casts. And let's see, we're gonna go into here. Alright, we're gonna come like this, come around. Grab a big chunk of white. We're going to adjust this ear here. And you know what? I think we're gonna need to take a break on this because I gotta let the paint dry and start to the paint start to dry as I let the color build up. The paint's a little too wet for me to work with right now. You know what we could probably do? Let's go. Let's go like this. I'm gonna come around. Let's do this. Boom. Bring in the white or purple, whatever. Now let's take some big globs of black. So, you know what? We should go with some of this red, this brown ochre here. It's red black. Let's go red black. Yo, what's up, Russell? How you doing? Yeah, hey, Russell. Well, next time, feel free to join in on a conversation. I know it is my responsibility to keep everybody entertained, but sometimes I just like get lost and I stop. I forget that I'm live streaming and I just gotta forget that I have to keep talking. So feel free to jump in and watch at any time. Observe, enjoy, whatever. Happy Saturday, by the way, or happy Sunday. Today's Sunday, right? Wow. It is Sunday, and I didn't even realize it. I just love the effect of having these crisscross lines to build up space around our figure here. This almost looks like the guy who plays the clown from House of a Thousand Corpses, but it's not. Anyone ever see that movie? Anyone a fan of House of a Thousand Corpses? Rob Zombie movie. I think it's a great horror movie. I like it. We're going to take a break on this for now. Hey, well, thanks so much, Russell. Yeah, I mean, good timing anyway, because I'm going to take a break now. Right now is about a good time to pop on out, grab a bite to eat, and then come back later. Just doing a little wrap up of supplies. With that said, we'll take our break now, and we'll probably be back in a few hours. Take care, everybody. Thanks for being here.